There's a storm inside you, a whirlwind of doubt, fear, and restless questions swirling in the depths of your soul. Yet I am the one who speaks peace over every raging current. I know the thunder in your thoughts, the lightning that flickers through your hopes, and the pouring rain of emotions that seems endless. But I am here, holding out my hand, inviting you to step from the chaos into my calm. You may feel battered by the winds of uncertainty, pressed down by the weight of what-ifs and should-haves. But I see you, and I say, be still. I am the anchor for your heart, the harbor where your spirit can rest. In my presence, the roar of your internal storm must quiet, for my voice is gentler yet stronger than every howling gale. Lean into me. Let my whisper be the lullaby that hushes your fears, the touch that soothes every frayed nerve, the assurance that you are never alone. Imagine the tempest losing its power as you listen to my words. Child, I am with you. I have calmed greater storms than this. Feel my breath, steady and sure, as it fills the sails of your faith and redirects your course away from the rocks of despair. Even now, I am weaving threads of peace through the turmoil, crafting a tapestry of hope from the shreds of your broken trust. Rest in my workmanship. You don't have to chase the clouds away. Bring me the pieces of your overwhelm, the fragments of your frustrations, and watch as I transform them into gentle breezes of encouragement. In the silence that follows the tempest, you will discover a new melody, my heartbeat echoing in your chest, my love pulsing through every vein. Let my peace fall like a soft rain upon the parched ground of your heart, reviving every wilted dream, renewing every tired prayer, restoring every weary step. The storm within you is no match for my power, for I am the author of calm, the master of every element, the shepherd who leads you beside still waters. So come, rest your head on my shoulder, hear my whisper, feel my peace, know my presence. And as the last echoes of the storm fade, your soul will rise on wings of tranquility, carried by my love into a place of unshakable serenity. I see you. I see the heaviness in your eyes, even when you try to smile through it. I see the way your chest tightens, how you hold your breath, hoping no one notices the weight you're carrying. You don't have to hide it from me. You don't have to pretend to be strong here. I know the ache that sits behind your silence. The way your thoughts run like wild waves, crashing again and again. And in the quiet moments, when it's just you and the night, I hear it all. The questions, the weariness, the whispered cries you never said aloud. You wonder if you'll ever feel peace again. You wonder if anyone truly understands what's going on inside of you. But I do. I see the storm within, the one that doesn't always have a name. It's not just the situation, not just the people or the pressure. It's deeper. It's the longing to feel safe, to feel held, to finally exhale without fear of what might happen next. Let me tell you something, child, not far away. I haven't turned my face from you. I am right here, closer than your next breath, nearer than the fears that try to grip you. I've watched you try to carry it all. I've seen your brave face and your trembling hands. But you don't have to do this alone anymore. You were never meant to be the one who calms the storm. That's my job. You were meant to rest in me, to lean into the shelter of my arms, and let me carry what's too heavy for you. Tonight, let me speak to that storm inside of you. Let me remind your soul of who I am. I am peace. I am the stillness after the thunder. I am the hand that never lets go. Just be here, right here, with me. With me. With me. With me. With me. Let your heart be quiet. Let your guard fall. Let my voice rise above the noise. I'm not here to fix you. I'm here to love you. And that love, It's enough to calm even the fiercest storm. I know what's stirring inside of you, even the things you can't explain, even the emotions that seem to crash over you without warning, waves that come too fast, too strong without giving you time to understand where they came from. I see the heaviness that settles on your shoulders in the middle of the day, and I feel the tightness in your chest at night when the world grows quiet, but your thoughts grow loud. You might not have the words to describe what you're feeling, but I know. I understand the storm. It doesn't need a name for me to see it. I know the subtle ache of anxiety that creeps in even when nothing is wrong. I know the weight of old wounds you thought were healed, but still ache when life presses against them. I know the deep longing for peace, for safety, for something steady to hold on to. You've tried to stay strong. You've tried to keep moving, to smile, to be okay. But inside, there's a swirl of emotions that doesn't quiet down no matter how much you distract yourself. And I want you to know, that doesn't scare me. It doesn't make me pull away. It draws me closer to you. Because I am the God who sees in secret, I see the things hidden even from yourself. I understand the storm, not just from the outside, but from the inside. I've walked with you through every heartbreak, every disappointment, every fear that tightened your throat and left you breathless. I was there in the moment you couldn't cry anymore. I was there when you whispered in the dark, "God, I don't even know what's wrong." I heard that whisper, and I answered it, not with judgment, not with pressure, but with my presence. I never expected you to always have clarity. I never asked you to always know what you need or how to fix what's hurting. What I've always asked is that you come to me, just as you are, even when you don't have words, especially then, because I understand what you're carrying, even when you don't. The storm inside you may be a mix of memories, regrets, fears, and questions. Or maybe it's just a numbness you can't shake. Maybe you don't even feel the storm, but you know it's there, quiet, low, ever present. I understand that too. I understand that sometimes pain disguises itself as apathy. That sometimes what looks like not caring is really just the heart trying to protect itself from another wound. I understand the defenses you've built. I understand the silence. I understand the tired. You don't need to explain it to me. You don't need to make sense of it before coming to me. Let me be the one who holds the chaos while you rest. Let me be the one who understands the things even you can't describe. I am not waiting for you to be fixed. I am not waiting for you to have clarity. I'm just waiting for you to come. Even if all you can bring me is a sigh, even if all you have is a tear, I receive that. I understand it more than you know, because I created your heart. I know how it beats. I know what it fears. I know what it longs for, and I know how to calm what's inside of it. There's no storm too messy for me, no swirl of emotion too tangled. I can walk into the middle of that storm, gently, tenderly, and begin to quiet it with my love. I won't rush you. I won't force you. I'll just stay, as long as it takes, until your soul knows, once again, that it is safe in me. You are not broken for feeling this way. You are not less loved for having a storm inside. You are not too much for me. You never have been. You never will be. You are deeply known. And even deeper than being known, you are understood. So rest now. You don't have to name it. You don't have to fix it. You don't even have to fight it. Just bring it to me. Let me sit with you in it. And together, we will make it through this storm. You were never meant to carry this alone. From the beginning, I formed you for relationship, not just with others, but with me. I created your heart to beat with mine, your soul to lean into my presence. I never intended for you to walk through the valleys without a hand to hold. Never meant for your shoulders to bear the full weight of life's sorrow, disappointment, or fear. But somewhere along the way, you began to believe the lie that you had to be strong by yourself. That if you just tried hard enough, stayed quiet enough, kept smiling long enough, you could manage the pain. You could push through it, survive it. Maybe no one else seemed to notice the burden you carried, so you told yourself it must be yours alone to hold. And little by little, your heart grew tired, your soul became weary. But hear me, child, I never stepped away. I never placed this burden in your hands and walked off. I never expected you to do this without me. Even when you felt alone, I was there. Even in the moments when your prayers felt like echoes and the silence seemed deafening, I was closer than your breath. I have never been distant. I have always been near. When you sat in that room, head in your hands, wondering how much more you could take, I was sitting beside you. When you lay awake at night, eyes staring at the ceiling, wishing someone could hear the cry in your chest, I was already listening. I knew what you didn't have words for. I caught every tear before it fell. I wrapped my presence around you even when you couldn't feel it. Not because you earned it, not because you reached for me first, but because I love you, deeply, endlessly, and I choose to stay. You were never designed to carry grief, fear, or shame alone. That's why they crush you. That's why they leave you breathless. Not because you are weak, but because those burdens were never meant to rest on your soul. They belong in my hands, not yours. Let me be your refuge. Let me be the place you run to. Not just when the storm rages, but even when the clouds are only beginning to gather. Let me walk with you through the parts you don't understand, through the parts that scare you, through the days when you don't want to get out of bed, and the nights when the silence is too loud. You're not a burden to me. Your emotions aren't too much. Your confusion doesn't push me away. If anything, your need draws me closer. I am not the God who waits for you to have it all together. I am not the God who requires perfection before my presence is near. I am Emmanuel, God with you. In the mess, in the ache, in the ordinary. You can lean your whole weight on me. You don't have to hold back. You don't have to filter your feelings. Just come as you are. Bring the whole tangle of emotion and thought and memory. I can hold it. I can hold you. Let me carry the things that are crushing your spirit. Let me take the weight of what you were never built to endure alone. And as I carry it, I will carry you too, gently, faithfully, lovingly. My presence is not something you have to earn. It's not something that flickers on and off depending on your mood or behavior. My nearness is constant. My love is unwavering. My arms are always open. When you walk through fire, I am with you. When you pass through deep waters, I am beside you. When the darkness presses in, my light surrounds you. You are never meant to walk this road alone, and you don't have to. So breathe, child. You are not alone. You never were, and you never will be. You've heard the loud voices, haven't you? A voice of fear, so relentless. It rises up in the quiet moments, flooding your mind with questions you can't answer. What if it all falls apart? What if I'm not enough? What if nothing changes? That fear gets loud, screaming lies like truths, trying to convince you that danger is near, that you are alone, that things will never get better. And in those moments, the fear feels real. It pounds like thunder. It echoes through your chest. It tightens around your thoughts and makes your breathing shallow. It hijacks your peace and clouds your vision. You try to reason with it, silence it, even pray it away, but sometimes it still lingers. Sometimes it wins the moment, and that's okay, because even in those moments, especially in those moments, my whisper is still there, and it is stronger than fear. My whisper doesn't shout to compete with the noise. It doesn't fight to be louder than your pain. It doesn't force its way into your awareness. It simply waits, gently, constantly, faithfully, until your soul is ready to hear it again. And when you do, when you pause, when you lean in, when you let the noise settle for just a moment, you will hear me. You'll hear me whisper, "You are safe. I've got you. You'll hear me say, I'm not going anywhere. You'll feel the weight in your chest begin to lift, not because the storm outside is gone, but because you've remembered who is with you in it. Fear thrives on lies, but my whisper carries truth, and truth always has the final word. When fear tells you you're not enough, I whisper, you are mine. When fear says you failed too many times, I whisper, my grace is greater still. When fear tries to drag you into panic, I whisper, peace, be still. You see, my whisper carries the same power that spoke creation into being. It carries the same authority that calmed the sea with just 3 words. It carries the same love that held you in the womb and holds you now. I don't need to shout. I don't need to overwhelm your senses. I simply speak, and when I do, fear must bow, because my voice brings light into darkness. It brings calm into chaos. It brings healing into brokenness. And that whisper, it never stops. Even when you can't hear it, it's still speaking. Even when the fear is loud, my voice is constant beneath it, like a river flowing under frozen ground, like a heartbeat steady in the silence. You may not always recognize it, you may not always feel it, but I am always speaking peace over your soul. You don't need to strain to hear me. You just need to come close. Get quiet. Not perfect, not emotionless. Just quiet enough for your spirit to remember who I am. I will never overwhelm you with pressure. I will never manipulate you with fear. That's not how I speak. I whisper because I'm near. I whisper because you are already surrounded. I whisper because I know you, and I know what your heart needs. You fought many battles in your mind. But this one, you don't have to fight alone. You don't have to shout louder than fear. You only need to lean into my voice. Let me remind you who you are. Let me remind you who I am. And you'll see that even in the fiercest storm, even in the loudest night, even in the darkest fear, my whisper still wins. You feel like you have to keep everything together, don't you? Like if you stop trying, everything will fall apart. You hold your breath through the day, hoping no one sees how close you are to breaking. You carry the weight of responsibilities, emotions, and expectations so tightly that your soul barely has space to breathe. You've been taught to fix things, to solve, to be strong, to keep going. But my child, let me say this to your heart tonight. You don't have to fix everything. That's not your job. It never was. You were not created to be your own savior. You were not made to carry burdens that only I can carry. You were never meant to be the solution to every problem in your life. You were meant to walk with me, to lean into me, to find rest, not more pressure, in my presence. I see how hard you're trying. I see the effort, the energy, the striving. And I see how exhausted you are. But you don't need to keep proving your worth. You are already loved, already accepted, already held. You keep looking for the answer, for the next step, for the fix. But what if I told you the answer is not another solution, it's surrender? What if the next step is not forward, but inward? What if the fix is not doing more, but being still? Be still and know that I am God. Those words weren't given as a poetic phrase. They were a command for the overwhelmed, a lifeline for the weary, a rescue for the heart that's drowning in too many shoulds and musts and what-ifs. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to perform. You don't need to have the right words, the perfect plan, the flawless outcome. You just need to come to me, exactly as you are, right now. Bring me the mess. Bring me the confusion. Bring me the half-finished thoughts and the prayers that trail off mid-sentence. Bring me the broken pieces. I know how to hold them. I know how to breathe life into the ashes. I'm not asking you to do more. I'm inviting you to rest more, to trust deeper, to let go of the illusion of control and fall into my arms where peace begins. I am not far. I'm not distant or waiting for you to get it right. I'm right here, whispering, come to me. Lay it down, be still. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is not giving up. Stillness is where your soul remembers that I am God, and you are not alone. You weren't made to run on empty. You weren't designed to constantly fix and carry and hold together what's crumbling. You were made for communion with me. And in my presence, burdens lift, hearts mend, peace flows like a river. Let go of the fear, of the control, of the need to be everything to everyone. I will take care of you. I will work all things together. I will be faithful to finish what I've started in your life. So pause now. Exhale. Rest your weary heart, and let me hold what you no longer can. Just come to me, and be still. Peace. Not the kind the world offers, not fleeting comfort or short-lived silence. Not a distraction, not avoidance, not numbing, but real peace. The kind that wraps around your soul and changes you from the inside out. That's what my presence brings. You've tasted momentary relief before, those temporary pauses between storms. You've tried to find peace in the approval of others, in the quiet of a room, in your own strength to hold things together. And for a moment, it worked. But then the noise came back. The fear returned. The restlessness crept in again. Because what you need, beloved, is not just a break from the storm. What you need is me. You see, my presence doesn't just quiet your surroundings. It transforms your heart. It doesn't just hush the noise. It changes what you hear inside. It doesn't just give you rest. It teaches your soul to live in rest, even when the chaos continues around you. In my presence, fear loses its grip. Not because everything is fixed, but because you begin to see through my eyes. You begin to remember you're not alone. You're not abandoned. You're not at the mercy of your circumstances. In my presence, lies dissolve. The lies that tell you you're not enough, that nothing will change, that you're forgotten. One by one, those lies fall like walls, because I speak truth that builds you up from within. My peace isn't just a pause. It's a rebuilding. It's a remaking. It's me taking your weary, trembling soul and grounding it in who I am. Faithful, sovereign, unchanging. You don't have to chase after peace anymore. You don't have to earn it or perform for it. You only have to be with me. Let me be your refuge. Let me be the space where your soul remembers how to breathe again. I don't just want to give you peace. I want to make you into peace. I want to shape your heart to carry it, not just visit it. That's transformation. That's what happens in my presence. Old fears start to lose their power. Anxieties begin to shrink. The atmosphere around you may not change, but you do. You become steadier, softer in spirit, but stronger in faith, more anchored, more whole, more you. The real you, the one I created before the world ever wounded you. My child, the world will always shift. People will disappoint. Circumstances will stretch and shake. But my presence is unshakable. And in me, you become unshakable too. So come, sit with me. Let the weight fall off. Let the striving cease. Let my spirit meet your spirit and do what only I can do. Let me remind you who you are. Let me remind you who I am. This isn't just about feeling better. This is about becoming new. Because peace, true peace, isn't passive. It's powerful. It's not just quiet. It conquers. And when it flows from me into you, it changes everything. You were made for this kind of peace. Not the kind that visits you for a moment, but the kind that lives in you, grows in you, becomes part of you. Peace that doesn't leave when the night falls. Peace that doesn't disappear when people fail you. Peace that holds you steady, even when the world shakes. That's what my presence brings. That is what I want to give you. That is what I long to do in you. So stay. Don't rush. Let me work. Let me whisper. Let me transform. You are safe here. You are seen here. You are becoming whole here. In me, peace is not temporary. It is everlasting, and it is yours. Lay it down now, beloved. The storm, the fear, the pressure to understand, to control, to keep going. You don't have to carry it one more step. I'm right here. I've been here all along, waiting for this moment. Not to correct you, not to demand more from you, but to carry this with you, and carry you too. Let my peace hold you tonight. Let my arms be the place you finally exhale. You don't need to figure out what's next. You don't need to fix how you feel. You only need to rest in me. I see your heart. I feel every silent cry. And I promise, you are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too far gone to be wrapped in my stillness. So come back to this place whenever you need. Come back to my voice. Come back to this whisper. Let me keep calming the storm inside you. Again, and again, and again, and if this word touched something deep in your spirit, tell me. Leave a comment. It's not for me, it's for you. Sometimes just saying, that was for me, opens the door to even more healing. If your heart needs more moments like this, stay close. There's more. I'm always speaking, always whispering, and I made the space so you could hear me clearly. Until next time, stay near, stay still. Let peace do its quiet work.